old fellow named Bobby Sparks.
Famous noodler.
Well, I guess he would be in his own mind.
Is it noodling?
No, Bobby's pretty good.
Is it
Bobby's
noodling or grabbling?
We call it noodling.
Hogging?
With an E. Well, it's another slang term for it, yeah. But Bobby told me he was a contractor at where I worked. I worked for Goodyear. And he told me, he said, Dave, he said, he came in, his hands were eat up one day. I said, Bobby, what are you doing? He said, man, he said, I got a 52 and a 56.
Pounder?
Flathead.
And what was the winner
the same
last year?
hole.
The winner was 60 something last year?
63, perhaps.
And what's the
Bobby Sparks. Bobby Sparks told me. He said, "Come down to fish. We'll go catch fish by hand." I thought, man, he's crazy. Never heard such a thing. And it was rainy. Rainy that day. He told me to come down. And I said, well, I like the old boy. I'm gonna give him a way out. I called him on the highway. I said, Bobby, look. I said, it's raining. You know, we can do this another time. He said, oh hell, we're gonna get wet anyway. Okay. So I figured now, okay, he's made the step. Let's see where it goes.
How much beer are you drinking at this point?
I don't drink beer when I noodle. Too many things happen. Too much stuff.
This is serious, people. Not business and pleasure.
But there are some that do it. But this could be an urban myth because I've heard a lot of these beaver bites, but I've yet to meet the guy that says, "Look, this is what." I've seen a lot of guys with missed fingers from table saw accidents and whatever. Said, "Oh man, the beaver got a hold of me."
It's all bullshit.
Well, I'm not gonna say it's all bullshit, but I'm just saying I have not met the guy that's told me. And right now, the biggest weight up is 52.
Oh, in the history of the event.
Was it 82? Was 82 the biggest?
The old boy that taught me, Bobby Sparks, him and his brother got one that was 111. 111. But that was like a kind of a freak deal of, wasn't so much as hold up as down on the river. There was a big rock that had separated from the river, and one came walking one way, one came walking the other, and basically tripped over him. Which a lot of times in the river now, when you go down there, you're doing open water. They're not in holes. They're not up there. You'll find them either
swimming around like this.
No, skipper sits there with his legs open, and the other guys kind of corrals him towards him.
That could be a little
He's taking a little litter. He's taking noodling a little litter.
Yes, yes. You want to protect yourself, and that comes true with all holes though. Any big hole that you're sitting in, because there's a lot of them I sit in, legs wide open, and the whole purpose is
keep your Johnson
kick that fish. Well, no, the whole purpose, my reasoning is kick him and make him run up in between my legs where he comes up to where I'm waiting for him.
Indian noodle.
If you're looking at 8-10 foot of water and you've got to go down, a lot of the holes we used to run, my old uncle, my buddy Bobby, whoever was with us, would take and shove you down, and you'd go down to the bottom and grab the fish. Hole? Yeah. Well, you'd go down by a big rock. You don't ever see it. All the holes that we go to, we've been going to for several years. So we know where the hole is and which rock, or say it's around. And then it's just a matter of when the water comes up, you just shove somebody down right there. And that's one of the big controversies over the noodling is you're taking all the fish off their spawn. But, if you're any kind of fisherman, your best bass are caught.
Is PETA after you?
Not yet. String weight, I'll guess at about 140, 150 for three. You weigh 3 fish. Big fish, I'm gonna guess between 60 and 65.
Really?
And when I first got started, a few years after I got started, I got several fish that would probably go 60 pounds. Since that time, I've been looking for a fish that goes over 70 pounds. One time, I believe I touched one. I could not get my hand around the base of her tail. I got the male was over 60. But I couldn't get my hand around halfway around the base of that tail.
You can't grab the tail when it's over.
Well, you can if you can get it wedged into a spot that they won't move, and then you string them through the tail.
That's called date rape.
Well, they generally don't complain much. But anyway, I tried to reach up on that fish and ease it back towards me, and she put up with me for a little bit, and then she did like that and took off. But that's, I guess, a worst case scenario is you get held under and drown.
All right, well, you got your
I caught in a hole with a pair of Kevlar gloves, like butcher gloves, the fine metal mesh or the woven ones. And I reached in and I grabbed hold of a fish, and his teeth got caught. He bit me on the tip of my fingers, slid off, spun around, twisted it where I couldn't pull my glove off, and I couldn't get a hold of him. And I was about 4 foot underwater. 4 foot's not very deep, but it's a long way when you got to try to get your nose up there.
1 inch.
No, I take it back. I've rubbed them, but not really thought of it as tickling them. To try just to just so I would know where they were.
It's like getting them horny.
Mustard
Well, I don't know if it did that or not. I didn't check. You know, the water's so wet, it'd be hard to tell.
and hot sauce.
Well, that's